Calendar management is one of the skills that you should have as a virtual assistant. Most business owners have online calendar. And as a virtual assistant, if you have the skills to manage your client calendar and keep them more organized and avoid missing any deadline, then you are increasing your value as a virtual assistant. In today's video, I'm going to share my screen and teach you all the basics of calendar management. By the end of this video, you will have enough knowledge to start offering calendar management services to clients. I'm going to show you how to create an event, how to set up an appointment, how to set a recurring event, how to edit event, how to add new calendar, manage time zones, and all the basics you need to learn in order to become calendar management virtual assistant. Before we get started, it's important to understand the goal of calendar management. The goal of calendar management is to keep your client more organized and avoid missing any deadline or any appointment. So that should be your focus as a virtual assistant. And there are many online calendar tools available, but the most popular one is Google Calendar. And that is what I'm going to focus on in this video. I'm going to teach you how to use Google Calendar. And I am confident if you learn how to use Google Calendar, it won't be that difficult to learn how to use other calendars such as Outlook. Okay, without any more delay, I will share my screen and I will show you how to access Google Calendar and how to start navigating Google Calendar. Okay, the first thing you need to do in order to access Google Calendar is to go to calendar.google.com. You can see it right here, calendar.google.com. When you go to calendar.google.com, you will land on this page, but you have to be logged into your Gmail account first. If you are logged into a Gmail account, when you go to calendar.google.com, you will land on this page. And you can see the Google account you are logged in from right here. If you want to switch to another calendar from another Gmail account, you can simply click here and choose another Gmail account. This is the homepage of Google Calendar. And the first thing we are going to look at is the view, what you are seeing right now on screen. This is monthly view. Right now we are in October. And this is our calendar for October. Right now we are going to see all events, all appointments, and all tasks that are scheduled on October. If you want to view all the tasks that are in 1 week, you can simply come right here where it said month, you click on it and you choose week. And when you choose week, you are going to see all the tasks and appointments and all the events that are scheduled within 1 week. If you want to see what is scheduled for 1 day, especially if you have a lot of things, if your client have a lot of events and tasks scheduled for every single day, you can come back here and choose day. When you choose day, you are going to see all the tasks that have been scheduled for a single day. And you can see the tasks and the time that the tasks have been scheduled. If you want to see previous day, you can simply click this arrow to see previous day. If you want to see the next day, you can click the next arrow to see the next day. And same thing applies to when you are viewing it in a week view, where you can click the arrow to see the previous week, or you can click the next arrow to see the next week. And same thing also applied if you are viewing a monthly view. When you are on monthly view, you can click here to see September, and you can click here to see the next month, which is November. So this is the first thing you shall know about Google Calendar. The next thing is this sidebar right here. This is the current month, and you can switch to the next or previous month using this arrow. And if you scroll, you are going to see my calendar. If you didn't see this, then maybe it is toggled up. You can simply click here to open all the calendars that you have. If you are viewing this with only your Gmail account, you are probably only going to see one calendar which has your name on it, and birthdays and tags and other things. If you check this box, then you are going to see all the events and all the tags that are scheduled in these other calendars. But when you start working for a client and they already have their own calendar, they are going to add you to their calendar and send you an invitation. When you accept their invitation, then you are going to see their calendar among this list. You are going to see their calendar probably below your own. And if you want to see all the tags, all the events in your client calendar, you have to check the box in order to see it too. And if you want to create an event or do anything, you have to choose their calendar. If you are working with your client calendar, you can turn off your calendar so that you have only your client calendar, and then you can work with their calendar. The next thing you shall know is right now we are viewing all the events and all the appointments that are on this calendar. but you are not viewing tasks. If you want to see the tasks that are scheduled on this calendar, you will have to choose this. When you switch to tasks, then you are going to see all the tasks that are scheduled on your calendar. But most of the times you are only going to use the calendar, not the tasks. You are going to work with appointments, meetings, and a lot of other things that are time scheduled, not tasks, when you are working with your client. So this is where you are going to spend most of your time. So this is how you navigate Google Calendar. This is how you find weekly view, daily view, and monthly view. And this is how you also access your client calendar. Note that your client will have to add you to their calendar, and they will send you an invitation. After you accept their invitation, then their calendar will be added to your own list of calendar under your Gmail account. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to create an event or appointment and how to add guests or attendees. In order to create an event or appointment, what you need to do is come to the day where you want to schedule the event, where you want to add the event or appointment. If you want to create an event on the 13th of October, that is the date of recording this video, you simply need to double click right here on the day. You don't have to double click where it says 13. You just need to double click anywhere within this box. When you double click, a window will open. This is where you are going to create an event or appointment. And the very first thing is adding a title. And the title is simply going to be the title of what is happening. If it is an event, if it is something like a team meeting, then you write team meeting. If it is an appointment with a client, you write appointment with, you write the name of the client. If your client is doing something personal, you write it out. So this is simply going to be the title of the event. For the sake of example, I'm simply going to set this up to be like a team meeting. Okay, I write team meeting. The next thing is the date. This is happening today, October 13th, so I'm going to leave it like this. But right now it says all day. If you leave it like this, it means this event is going to happen all day for 24 hours. And obviously we are not going to have a meeting for 24 hours. So we need to remove this. When you remove this, then you set the time that the meeting will start, or the time that the event will start, and the time that the event will finish. Let's say the event will start at 4 p.m. You simply click here and scroll and choose 4 p.m. And if the event is a 1-hour event, then you choose 5 p.m. So the event will start at 4 p.m. and will finish at 5 p.m. And the next thing is does not repeat. If you are setting a one-time event appointment or whatever, make sure it says here does not repeat. Right now it says location. If it is an online event, you probably aren't going to need to add any location, but that depends on your client and what they want. If they want to add a specific location, then this is where you are going to add the location. And the next thing is notification. Do you want your client to be notified about this event? Right now, notification is set by default 30 minutes. This means 30 minutes before the event, your client is going to receive a notification that they have a team meeting at 4 p.m. So you can leave this on or off depending on your client preference. And the next thing is Sadiq Umar right here. It's the name of the calendar. I am setting this event in my own personal calendar, so this is the name of the calendar. Same thing, if you are setting it up on your client calendar, you are going to see the name of their calendar. And this color is the default color of the calendar that I am working on. You can change the color if you like. You can simply click. Let me change it to this green. And this is very important. You see it say busy. This means if it is busy here, it means nobody can book any appointment and nobody can add any event to this calendar during this time. If someone tries to book an appointment using a software like Calendly, they are going to see that you are busy from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. And even if someone create an event and try to add you to the event, they are going to see that you are busy. So this is very important. This is going to help you avoid having conflict. The last thing is adding a description. You can simply write a description for the event. If it is an appointment, team meeting, whatever it is, you can write a short description of what it is. If you need to include some other details, if for example the event is going to happen via Zoom or other platform or another software, you can include a link that the attendees are going to use to join the meeting or to join the appointment. You can add any description that is going to be helpful for the people attending the event. You can use this top bar to make changes to format the text. If I say something like, this is our team meeting, and if there is any other detail, I can simply add it here. If I want to make something bold, I can simply do this. If I want to make it italic, I use this. I can add a numbered list or bullet point or add a link. So the next thing is adding a guest. If you want to add a guest, if it's an appointment, someone book an appointment with your client, you need to add them to this event, and you simply need to write their email address in order to add them to this calendar, in order to add them to this event. Let me add myself for the sake of an example. Okay, you see I have added myself. This is the organizer. This is my main calendar that I created the event, and I added this as a guest. The next thing is guest permission. Do you want the guest to be able to make changes to the event? Probably no. Do you want the guest to be able to invite other people? And do you want the guest to be able to see other people who are invited to the event? That depends on the type of event you are setting up and your client preference. When you finish, all you need to do is click Save. Will you like to send invitation email to Google Calendar guest? If you click Send, then all the guests that you added to this event, they are going to receive notification. If you click Don't Send, then they are not going to receive notification. Probably you are going to want to send them a notification. But if you don't, depending on your client preference, if you write an email separately and send to them, that also works. But for the sake of example, I will click Don't Send. Okay, you see right now we have the event right here. 4 p.m. team meeting. If you click on it, you are going to see all the other details. The event is happening Sunday, October 13th, 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. And the owner of the calendar can simply click here to start the meeting, and all the guests can click the link also to join. So this is how you create an event in Google Calendar. You write description, you choose the time, and you add guest. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to set up a recurring event. Let's say, for example, we are setting up a team meeting, and the meeting is going to happen every week on Sunday at 3 p.m. We don't need to create the event every week and send notification every single week. We can simply set up the event to happen every week. And let me show you how you can do that. The way to do this is, if you delete this event, you can simply redo it, but you don't need to delete it. You can simply open the event and you can click this pencil icon in order to edit the event. And the next thing is right here. This is where you are going to change how the event happened. This is how we are going to change the event into a recurring event. You simply click here. And if we want the event to happen weekly on Sunday, every Sunday at the same time, you simply click weekly on Sunday. When you click Save, you see now the event has been added every Wednesday at 4 p.m. If you go to the next month, you see all Sunday 4 p.m. we have this meeting. We have team meeting every Sunday at 4 p.m. If you keep going, you will see every other month we will have this meeting at 4 p.m. So this is how you set a recurring event. But what if we want this event to happen only twice? If we only want the event to happen this Sunday and the next Sunday? How we can do that is you can simply go back to the event, click the pencil icon to edit, and instead of weekly on Sunday, we can choose custom. We can let it to repeat every 1 week on Sunday, but we want it to end after 2 occurrences. So we can simply choose after, and we can replace this 13 with 2. When you click done and you click save, make sure to choose all event. If you choose all event, this means the changes we make are going to apply to all the other team meeting that we created. So you click OK. You see now, instead of every Sunday at 4 p.m. we only have this meeting, at this Sunday 4 p.m. and the next one at 4 p.m. But the next third Sunday, we don't have this meeting. If you go to the next month, you see we don't have this meeting anywhere else. So this is how you create a recurring event in Google Calendar. You can choose however days you want to set a recurring event. You can set it to happen twice a month, once a month, every Friday of the month. You can simply go to custom and choose the specific day and time that you want the event to happen on a recurring basis. Now the next thing I'm going to show you is how to delete an event. If, for example, your client changed their mind and stop doing a certain event, you can simply go to the calendar and delete it entirely. Right now we have 2 team meetings on Sunday. If we want to delete it, you can simply click to open the event. You come up here to this delete icon, you click on it, make sure you choose all events and then click OK. You see all the events have been deleted. All the team meetings that we set up to happen on a recurring basis have been deleted. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to add a time block. How to add a time that nobody can book any appointment or anything else in your client calendar. Because sometimes your client will need a personal time and they don't want anything to happen in that personal time. So if they added a time block, if you add a time block in their calendar, you know they are not available in that time, and you set it up so that if they integrate their calendar with any tool like Calendly, no one can book appointment, and you also know that they are not available. For example, if they don't want to do anything between 2 p.m. to 3 p.m., then you know your client is not available between 2 and 3 p.m. If you are chatting with someone who want to have a chat with your client, you know your client is not available at that time. And if someone tries to book an appointment at that time, they will get a notification that your client is busy. Adding a time block is very important, and it's very simple to create a time block. All we need to do is come to the day that we are right now. We are on the 13th of October. Double click. And we can simply name it however we want. For the sake of example, I will name this personal time. And we don't want it to happen all day, so we can take this up. And if your client want to take their time up from 3 to 4 p.m., then we can choose 3 p.m. here. And we can choose 4 p.m. here. So your client have a time of you block their time for 1 hour every single day. And we can choose here from does not repeat, we change it to daily. And we can come right here. We don't want to send a notification for a time block, so we can remove the notification, and we can change the color to something like red so that it is more obvious, and make sure busy is selected. If you leave it to pre, then everyone can book any appointment at the time, so make sure it is set to busy. And you write description if you need to, but you probably don't need a description. But depending on your client, you might need a description. You set it up, and we don't need to add any guest. You simply click save. And you see right now, every single day at 3 p.m., the time is blocked. Nobody can book anything between 3 to 4 p.m. So this is how you add a time block in your client calendar. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to manage time zone. As a virtual assistant, you are probably working with clients from different countries and you have different time zone. And so Google Calendar make it very easy to work with time zone. You can set a time in your own time zone in Google Calendar, and anyone who check out the event, they will see the time in their own time zone. For example, right now when I click personal time 3 to 4 p.m., this time is in West African Standard Time. That is my time zone. But if someone open this event in Central Standard Time, they are going to see the time in their own time zone. And the best way to work with time zone in Google Calendar is to come to the settings right here. You click on this gear icon, then you go to settings. And when you scroll to time zone, you make sure your time zone, your default time zone is selected right here. My time zone is West African Standard Time. Make sure your own time zone is selected here, and you can work with your calendar with your own time zone. But when your client wants you to set up a certain appointment or some tasks in Google Calendar, you can easily come to this time zone section and change the time zone to their time zone. If they are in Central Standard Time, you can change it to Central Time, and you can set all the events in Central Time. When you finish setting all the events, you can simply come back here and change it to your time zone. This way, you will not have an issue with setting up a wrong time, because if your client, if you say, okay, I know they are 7 hours ahead of me, there might be a chance of making a mistake. But if you use this time zone selection, you won't make a mistake. Google Calendar is going to be very accurate with time zone. So this is the best way to work with time zone in Google Calendar. So right now, you know how to navigate Google Calendar, you know how to create an event, you know how to add a new calendar, you know how to add guests, you know how to work with time zone, and you know how to block time in your client calendar. These are all the basics you need to start performing calendar management tasks. The next thing you need to do is just spend some time practicing in your own personal calendar. You can even create all the events about all the tasks, all the things you do in your day, in your normal day. You can create events in your personal calendar and you fill it out so that you make a nice full calendar. And you can take a screenshot and include it in your portfolio. And if you don't have a portfolio, or if you want to update your portfolio, you can simply watch this next video to learn how to create the best portfolio in Canva, or update the one you already have. If you find the video helpful, please give it a like and don't forget to subscribe. I will see you in the next one.